7th session of the game. It's been, about 3-4 weeks between sessions just now? Feels like forever. All right, so you guys, in case anybody doesn't remember, are in Sandpoint. Showed up for the Swallowtail Festival. Were attacked by goblins. The entire town was attacked by goblins, and several people died, but you guys managed to save the day. You went on your own little fact-finding mission around town. Umusashi did. He found that the front gate had been busted open from the inside. He found a scrap of cloth that was a piece of a finely made purple robe. Yeah, a nice purple robe. Yeah. He showed this to the rest of the team. He even talked to the sheriff about it. Nobody knew where it had come from. But later on that evening, y'all were called out to go to the church and check out a desecrated vault that had been broken into during the raid. You get out there and you find 2 skeletons and a pile of cloth laying in the corner of the tomb. You kill the skeletons, find out that the cloth is the larger piece of the robe. You find out that tomb belonged to Ezekiel Tobin and his deceased daughter, Nawalia Tobin, as well as a couple of acolytes who had been buried with him. Ezekiel Tobin's body was missing. You found out that Nawalia's body had never been recovered, but she had been given a... The camera's on. No, you can see Devin. Please, Jesus. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Anyways, you found out that Ezekiel Tobin's body had been stolen or, absconded with during the raid. Nawalia's body had never been interred. On your investigations around town, you learned about... You learned that the robe belonged to a woman named Atsui Kaijitsu. She is the wife of a nobleman in town named Lanjaku Kaijitsu, and mother of a bastard child, Pseudo Kaijitsu, and a true-born child, Amiko Kaijitsu. You handled a goblin attack that happened at someone's house, killed their husband, stole their stuff. Well, y'all didn't do both of those things. The goblin killed the husband, you stole the stuff. Okay, the cat stole the stuff.
I'm in that, yes.
Yeah. And y'all met with Shalelu Andalusa. That's not her actual name, but I misspoke in the first time I introduced her, so that's her name from now on. Shalelu Andalusa. She came in and told y'all about all the goblins that are amassing at Thistletop. That there does seem to be, at least a few humans that are milling around up there as well. That news prompted Sheriff Bellor Hemlock to go off to Magnamar in search of support. He left y'all pretty much in charge. I'm sure that some of the guards might argue with you on that, but y'all are pretty much in charge. And y'all have just arrived back to Amiko's Tavern, the Rusty Dragon. You're making your way upstairs for the evening when you heard the door of the tavern be kicked in, and a short man, hold on, I got a picture of him. A short man steps in and bellows out, "Amiko!" And we are back into the game. This right here is Pseudo's father. He is played by Kenneth Choi. Wait, no, that's the wrong guy, actually. That is... Oh, shoot. Did it not save?
We know this is Pseudo's father who burst through the door?
Yes, that's... you don't know it's Pseudo's father.
Okay.
Yeah, that's actually not the picture of... that's not the picture of Lanjaku that I had downloaded. It's not there for some reason. So, he's uncast.
But it is Lanjaku that burst through the door. Do we know this?
You probably can assume it based on, he looks a little bit like Amiko, and he's dressed finely.
And be 100% honest. Now that I know it's Rosita, I don't want to help her anymore. I don't like her at all.
You can't see the incredulous, dumb fucking look I'm giving you through the computer right now. like there's metagaming, and then there's what you're doing. Stop.
Metagaming? Okay, I'm stopping. All right.
Stop.
So.
All right.
Oh.
Anyway, all right. So this man bursts down the door, and screams out for Amiko, and blah, 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 blah. All right. Here it is.
Does he sound angry?
Yes, he sounds very angry. He's kind of stumbling around a little bit. He seems a little bit drunk. His words are slurring, and he starts screaming out in a foreign language that I can't quite understand. Does anybody speak Minkayan?
No.
No?
Oh, I almost picked it, but no.
All right, so yeah, he's wandering around the bar, screaming out in this foreign language, going over to different patrons and screaming in their face, and his eyes fall on our heroes standing near the staircase. He half stumbles, half stomps closer to y'all, and y'all can see that he's not really an old man, but his current state makes him look older. He's disheveled. His skin is greasy. His hair is a mess. His clothes hang off of him like rags. And the large bags under his eyes and his sagging cheeks suggest that he's lost many nights of sleep lately. He points out a wrinkled, worn hand and starts screaming at y'all in common. You! I recognize you! You punks have been making trouble in this town since you got here! Your antics at the festival could have hurt people! And now, you should leave the work to trained professionals.
So, he's still walking towards us?
Yeah, he's where, yeah, he's about right here. So all you guys are standing right here. Yeah. All you guys are right here near the staircase. So he's about 5 to 10 feet away from.
So Stompy's going to jump down and block off this staircase.
Yeah, I'm looking towards Amiko to see what her reaction is to this guy stumbling around here.
Amiko is not in sight yet. Not quite yet.
Is there anybody else in the bar besides her? Like, is there another person that's bartending?
Yeah, there's a gnome halfling woman that helps her with dishes and serving food, and she's just kind of stunned, frozen in fear.
Argus turns to the guy. Excuse me, who are you? You have no right to be yelling. We saved the town.
You saved the town. You brought more trouble here, is what you did. Who are you to ask me who I am? What my name is? I'm a
You're
prince
nobody.
in this town.
You're nobody, except for an angry old Asian guy.
You're nobody.
All right.
His face is turning dark red.
I'll take a step in front of him. I will partially unsheath my sword with the one hand and with the badge in the other, and be like, "Sir, I command you to calm down and settle yourself. We are responsible for this town right now."
Yeah. Just what we need. A band of filthy vagrants. Filthy vagrant mercenaries come to this town. And he takes a step back and he just throws up his hands. About that time, y'all hear, the doors in the from the kitchen swing open, and Amiko comes rushing out with a dripping ladle in her hand. He's, "What's going on in here?"
Unfortunately, madam, we have someone that is quite drunk, as it would appear, causing some disturbance. Do you know this man?
Yes, this man is my father. And she comes over here to him. Like, what are you doing here? Why are you making a scene in my tavern? And he looks at her and he begins speaking in Minkayan again. Kind of fast. Anybody typing to me? Okay. Kind of fast, and then she responds in Minkayan, and they're standing here arguing back and forth in this foreign language for a good second.
I'm considering if it's worth casting comprehend languages for this.
I mean, it's up to you. You are it is the end of the night, so what? You're gonna get your spells back in an hour? I mean, a couple hours.
I don't know. Like when he walked in, I was already considering casting comprehend languages. Trying
to think if I have anything that can.
I'm gonna like if you'll allow it to retroactively have cast that when he started like chanting off in his other language. I gotta go check something. Hold on.
Okay. I'll give him a second.
I'm trying to see what languages I was proficient in. I forgot. I'm going through my list of stuff. No, it looks like it didn't say anything about any of the languages I have.
Okay.
All right.
You should have Dwarven in common.
So
with comprehend language, I can understand the spoken words of creatures or read otherwise incomprehensible languages, but I can't speak it. So I can just understand what they're saying, and I really get their literal, just the literal meaning of whatever they're saying.
Yeah, you hear him. He starts shouting at her, "Amiko, this town is no longer fit to house our family. These worthless guards can't even keep goblins from a child's bedroom, and I hear the home was robbed as well. These are scum not worth being associated with the name Kaijitsu. We are returning to Magnamar. You will get your things and act like a proper lady, learn your place, and leave with me in the morning." I'm not going any damn where. If you want to run from some pussy fucking goblins like a piece of shit coward that you are, you can. But my place is here. Oh, you've disgraced your family long enough. You will stop this nonsense of being a serving girl or an adventurer or whatever you call yourself these days, and take a respectable place in a respectable society, or you will see the business end of my walking stick before I dissolve your inheritance.
Is his walking stick on him?
Yeah, he's holding it. I'm not your child anymore, you dense fuck. You can't control me, and I will not let you run me from this town like you did Pseudo. Now get the hell out of my business and take your drunk ass home. That bastard is no concern of yours. He spreads lies and tells that I am a villain when he turns tail and runs. If you could stop all that talk and you would just you could stop all that talk if you would just tell people what happened that night, how she fell. Enough! I'll not hear of this from you as well. And he reaches out and grabs her by the hair and starts yanking her towards the door.
I will rush over and grab his shoulder.
You rush over and you grab at his shoulder, and as he turns his head, Amiko stomps down on his toe and swings around in a circle, wrenching herself free from his grip, and smacks him over the head with her ladle. Soup and broth go flying all over your armor because you just stepped in the wrong place. Sorry.
Yep. That's fine.
Yeah, and he takes a stumbling step backwards as blood trickles down his face. Wide-eyed and silent, he touches the trail of blood and looks down and examines his red fingertips. You are as dead to me as she is. This was said in Minkayan. Amiko, obviously hurt more by the last words her father said than the physical abuse he just gave her. Her eyes start to fill the water as she holds back her tears, and she looks at the small chunk of skin and hair on her ladle. And as her father slams back through the doors, she looks back up to you, Musashi, and her lip quivers slightly, and she shakily says, "I guess I'll have to wash this again because jackass stew isn't on the menu tonight." Everybody in the bar starts to chuckle. Shilelu crosses the room and reaches out to embrace Amiko. Amiko sinks slightly and buries her face into Shalelu's chest, and she seems to sob slightly just before looking up, wiping a tear from her cheek, and kissing Shalelu directly on the lips. I'm sorry you had to see that, but I'm glad you're here. There's no one I'd rather see. Shalelu obviously looks a little surprised by this. What do you guys respond to this situation?
Well, first I'll sheath my sword again since it was half out.
Cordova's like silently whispering what was said to whoever's listening to him, because obviously nobody understood that.
Yeah.
He said she's a disgrace, not part of the family. I only get the literal meaning, but I think he hates her and left.
Is it late? Like, is it late?
I don't know, just generally filling them in on what was actually said to her, so they can respond to that if they want to.
We'll say it's not super late, but it's 9 to 10 o'clock in the evening. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Argus goes.
Argus goes to bed.
Argus leaves. Cordova will walk over and ask her, is there anything that I can do?
Unfortunately, there's nothing anyone can do for him. He's stubborn and stuck in his ways. But I can tell you one thing. He wants me to leave this town and come home with him. That's the last thing I'd rather do. I'd just as soon never see him again.
Okay. He said, I'm trying to phrase this, but he talked about a night that he wasn't sharing what happened that night, right?
Yeah.
I don't know if I should even ask her that question. She said that he wasn't telling anyone what had happened that night, and he should. So she doesn't know what happened that night, which I'm assuming is the night that his wife committed suicide.
Yes.
Well, if she doesn't seem to know, I'm not going to ask her about that. I don't know about you guys.
Yeah, if y'all, are done, talking to her, if there's nothing y'all want to say, and I understand if you don't, makes sense. Like, you wouldn't want to butt into, a family argument here.
No, she seems to be in the arms of the woman she loves, apparently. So, I mean, there's not much I can do to console her here.
Well, I'll kind of interrupt those two. My lady, might I ask two things of you?
Yes, of course.
Not to be rude or anything, but number one, since you're not making jackass stew and you need to clean that, do you have anything that you can help me clean myself with? Part of the scuffle.
Dude, you were constantly looking for rags and shit.
Basically.
Yes, I'm terribly sorry. I didn't mean to get that all over your armor.
That is fine. That is the least of my concerns. My other question is, with whatever that was, do we need to stay up and post guard on your establishment? Because it seemed like he was quite adamant to hurt you.
No, he's all bluster, and I mean, he's a little abused too, but he's just not effective anymore. I'm stronger than he's ever been. I don't need to worry about him anymore. But as far as your armor, and she reaches into her pocket and pulls out, I have about a handful of silvers, about 5 silvers. So like if you take this to the Red Dog Smithy in the morning and tell him that I sent you, I'm sure he'll clean your armor for you.
Very appreciative.
Now that guy just left, so I'm going to lean over to Argus if he hasn't gone to bed yet and ask him, like, hey, should we give chase?
The other question I have for you, my lady, since I'm talking to her, I kind of being a little bit gentle with it. If you don't mind me prying, what in the hell was that all about?
He's been on edge lately. Ever since the goblin attack, he's been getting more and more paranoid. He keeps thinking that someone's out to get him, or that he's gonna get hurt in some way. He no longer trusts the town guard, and he wants us to return to Magnamore. But I can't leave my establishment, my town. These people are my family more than he's ever been.
Why doesn't he trust the town guard?
Well, he says that they failed to stop the goblin raid and that they've not done a good job of protecting people. He mentioned something about the child's bedroom just earlier tonight, but I mean, he's lost faith in their ability to protect us, it seems.
Did you guys want to go after him?
Um,
Drawing a blank.
I
Is
guess-
Casey even still there?
No, Casey went to bed.
Yeah, Argus went to bed.
Oh, okay.
Argus and Stompy are already upstairs. Stompy's curled up at the foot of the bed, snoring soundly.
Drunk person. Like,
I'm talking to her, so I don't know what you guys are talking about.
Apparently, I'm not talking to anybody because Cthulhu's just standing there watching too.
Well, I don't think we should go after him. It's her dad. I think she handled it the way she wanted to. And I think she would tell us if she wanted us to trail him or whatever.
But he's got information
Unless
about what
we
happened
just
that night,
interrogate
apparently.
him. Good cop, bad cop it, and, beat it out of him.
I heard beat it out of him. I'm intrigued. My lady, is there anything that we can do for you this night, or shall we leave you in peace?
Well, those of you who will can join me and my friend here for a drink. But I think that's the way I'll be solving my problems this evening.
Then I shall leave you in your peace.
All right. So those of you who want to, can sit up all night or late into the night and drink with Amiko and Shalelu, just hear random stories about their adventures together and bond a little bit. Those of you who are tired can go ahead and go to bed. But night passes, morning comes, y'all wake up at your respective hours. Cordova wakes up and you do your morning, salutations or whatever it is that you have to do to get your spells. Argus wakes up and, however he handles his animal stuff in the morning. As y'all go down into the bar, you see there are some people from the church there, taking up donations. They're taking donations for the Barrett family. It came to be known around the church last night that not only did Mrs. Barrett's husband die, but it seems like they were robbed as well. Their life savings are missing, as well as her family heirloom sapphire ring. Emil and her son will be leaving for Magnamar once her sister arrives, but in the meantime, they need to get her some money so that she can have funds to build a life once she gets to the big city. And here, whatever you guys want to do for the day. I've got a lot of shit written.
Cordova's
All
gonna
right,
donate.
let's go back to bed.
Argus gives some money. He gives 3 gold. And
3?
3 gold.
Okay, I'm
I was gonna
tracking
say,
that.
where's the link again for the inventory? I don't have it bookmarked.
Oh, I
Here,
can give you a new one.
Hold on.
Or,
I got that.
okay.
Throw that in chat real quick.
Yeah. That's fine.
Cordova's gonna throw 10 gold down on that donation there.
I will throw. Oop, stupid thing. I will throw 10 gold down as much, and then also, is there any chance I can write a note or tell them condolences? I wish you luck on your journey.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I'll also put 10 gold. So what is that? 13 or 23 altogether?
No, I'll give 10 too.
Okay.
All right. So that's 4 of you gave 10 gold each. Nice.
I mean, Cthulhu literally just gave her back.
He didn't give her her money back. He stole 2 platinum pieces
And the ring.
and a
and
ring.
7 more gold.
All right,
It's
so
like not out of his gold. He's like, yeah, I can give you some of this back.
I've updated the 10 gold apiece on there. He's just trying to save face, like as we're all donating.
So are we all down?
Um,
What do you mean down?
yeah.
Like,
You're
are
all
we
downstairs?
up? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Cordova's come down for the morning, of course.
Argus is eating his breakfast.
I had a tick on that.
Cordova's going to inform you guys that he's heard that there's a seer in town.
Hey, quick side question.
Yes.
I'm trying to add in my level up stuff on that one application that you guys have. Now, I wanted to give myself 2 skill points in the diplomacy. Do I put that under ranks or do I put that as miscellaneous mod?
Hold on, let me see. I'm the only one who uses that app, so
Yeah.
you'd add it under ranks if you're adding 2 of the points into ranks.
Okay. So it gave me a diplomacy of +4, so thought I'd make sure.
Fair.
Because I was not very diplomatic before. It was like a -1.
And so there's a seer in town. I don't know if you guys were interested in that sort of thing, but I would like to speak with, is it a woman, Jeremy?
Yes.
I
Her
would
name
like to
is,
speak with the seer.
Madame Niska Mvashti.
Argus asks, is Amiko there? Just how she's feeling and if everything's okay.
Yeah, she's around. You'd probably
Yeah, y'all see Amiko, and she's a little more quiet than normal today. She greets y'all, but like hurriedly, like, yeah, hey, good morning, guys, and gives y'all a little bit of food, and hurries on. She looks like she's lost in thought today.
Okay. Argus is going to ask does anybody have any plans today?
Well, I have a little minor trek that I might run if everyone's just off doing things. I think I might take Amiko up on having my armor cleaned, as well as talk with a blacksmith and do some other things.
I think we need to talk to Vin Vinder at some point today, but I need to do some other stuff too.
We do need to speak to Vin Vinder. Well, I think that what we should do is have Cthulhu speak with Vin Vinder and try to smooth that over. Given the opportunity to smooth that over on his own, since it was his faux pas, and if that doesn't work out, then we might have to get involved.
Wasn't my fault he has a horn dog for a daughter.
Now, it may not be your fault, but I think we need to smooth it over anyway if he's holding all of the vendors in town to a higher price point.
No, they're just not dealing with us.
Well, they're still dealing with us. They're just not giving us a discount.
A lot of them are not dealing with y'all, but those that are dealing with you are making you pay a more exorbitant price than anybody else in town. Like, that's what if they're willing to let you get some stuff, they're going to make their money for pissing off a vendor.
Okay, so Musashi or no, Cthulhu, do you think you could handle that, fixing that problem somehow without killing him?
Yeah,
That's just it. He would end up dead. I don't have to apologize for my actions, especially if it wasn't my fault.
I think we should go as a group just later on.
All right.
And the reason is we send Cthulhu. Cthulhu already got his ass kicked by Vin Vinder.
So,
Right. So I'll just be a salty cat.
and somebody roll me knowledge local. As many people as can roll me knowledge local. And Devin, you can just make a flat D20 check on this.
I have knowledge history.
Yeah, knowledge history is fine.
With the knowledge
I got a
history, that
+4
would
on this
be
one.
a
What
21.
if you don't have local? What are you basing it off of?
What do you have?
Geography and nature.
You get nothing.
Yeah, just
Ooh,
I-
a
I guess
19.
19. 19's good. It gets kind of like a flat memory check.
I got a 21 for history, for whatever that would tell me.
21 history, 19 local. That's enough, at least for the
I got a
15. 15 is actually the DC I had set in my head. So yeah, y'all remember, I mean, you've been moving about town for a few days. You've heard a couple of things in regards to Vin Vinder. You know that his daughter, Katrine, is currently in a relationship with the man who runs the Sandpoint Sawmill. His name is Banny Harker. This gets under Vin's skin. He doesn't like it. He doesn't like his sweet daughter going off with this, wretched, bad person in his eyes. I can't. My vocabulary is failing me. Anyways, but yeah, he doesn't like his daughter going off with this man, and his increased attention on that is what has allowed Shayless to be as promiscuous as she's been lately.
Very much so.
And along those same lines, you've also been hearing complaints through town about Banny Harker. The fact that he runs his sawmill until, all hours of the night, until midnight, 1 a.m. He's still running that sawmill. And even if you haven't heard that from the townspeople, you know it yourself because you can hear the sawmill all the way from in your room at the Rusty Dragon.
Hmm.
So it sounds like to me, guys, that we need to approach Vinvinder and tell him either about his daughter or can solve the sawmill and make everybody happy, and they would have no choice. But
Yeah.
put us back
Well,
in the great
What
system.
can we do for him? Basically, is
Right.
what it is.
We can't tell a man that his daughter is a prostitute, Nightwalker.
He could tell him, but I don't think he's gonna want to hear it.
Exactly.
So
But
what's the call? Do we do
I
that
don't know
first?
about y'all, but I have to get into the right mind. Too many negative things have happened.
Okay.
So I guess the question is, do you guys want me with you as backup, or am I off on my own for?
Well, we're all
Fiddling
gonna go
around.
see Vendor together. I think Argus is gonna go off and meditate. I need to see a seer.
So let's go do our own things and come back together, and we can meet Vinder at the Hag's Inn or at his shop.
Okay.
You're more than welcome to come with me to the seer if you guys don't have anything else going on.
Yeah, anybody is welcome to go with anybody. I am going to roll a
I'd like to go
D4.
with the seer. See if I can get some pictures.
Yeah, I am going to roll a D4, and we're going to go in alphabetical order on the D4. Argus, Cordova, Cthulhu, Musashi. All right. Whoever comes up. Cordova, it's 2. So
Sweet.
we will go to the seer first.
Cool.
All right. As you leave the Rusty Dragon and turn left, heading towards the center of town, you start start to walk. You run into a half-elf lady, an old lady. She approaches the two of you with a bag of apples in her hand. She's wearing an old cloak that's tattered and worn from time, and the fact that she obviously spends a fair amount of her time outside. You don't know if she's a vendor, a merchant, or just an active old person. But hello, Sonnies. I just wanted to give you this as a gift for saying thank you for helping the town so much since you arrived. And she holds out, the bag of apples. You see her wrists are thin and her hands tremble under the weight of the apples. Do you take them?
Sense motive.
Okay.
12.
She's sincere. She's trying to thank you and give you apples.
Okay, I'm gonna say, well, it was our pleasure to help the town and take the apples before her arm falls off because it looks like it's wobbly.
Yeah. I've also not been able to help but notice that none of you boys have a young lady on your arm. Yes.
Would you like to be that young lady?
Oh,
God.
and she blushes. Yeah. Oh, I'm not the young lady I once was, but I have a couple of granddaughters that are close to age to be wed, and I can't think of a better grandson-in-law than such a strong hero as you boys. And he reaches out and she does the old lady, like squeezes Cthulhu on the bicep. Such strong boys. And she looks at Cordova. I bet you would make the most beautiful and gifted of grandbabies that a young man of your caliber.
Oh, undoubtedly. He's like, perhaps we could come by and meet these young ladies sometime.
Oh, absolutely. I live right down there on the corner. I'm actually going to drag y'all to the map because why not? I don't have any maps for the stuff that we're about to do. So we're just going to be on this. All right, yeah. I live right down there on the corner. You come by and I'll give you biscuits and tea and bring over the girls and y'all can meet them anytime you like.
That sounds great, and I'm going to thank her for the apples, and I'm going to thank her, because I know Cthulhu's not going to thank anyone, so I'll thank her for Cthulhu. and say yes. We'll stop by when we have the chance.
Yes. Well, you boys have a wonderful morning. And she, starts to hobble off. Just about a block ahead of you, this building right here, you see a large, somewhat decrepit, 2-level manor house with several windows and a full balcony wrapping around the second level. Just behind the house, you can make out the backside of the Tarandarok Academy. What's this?
Mm-hmm.
You step up to the front porch of the house. It wraps around the walls on each corner. And you notice the front door is hanging slightly ajar. Roll a perception check.
16.
16. Catul.
Oh, sorry.
Again.
R20.
What? No.
It's
Jeez.
/R space 1d20.
You can also, there's over here on the left side of your
Yes.
screen, that bar.
Oh,
You
yeah,
can
here
just-
we go.
Yeah.
Cool.
4.
Even better.
All right. Well, you actually, with DC 5, and I'm sure that you have a perception of at least +1. So, but with DC 5, you smell the sweet smell of dough, a sweet smell wafting through the door.
Something's cooking.
What you do?
Is this a business? Would we just walk into this kind of place? I don't know. Maybe I'm asking Cthulhu. Like, I don't know how
Well,
this
it's
works.
a jar, he said. So, cautiously, I guess, go inside. And...
Well, I mean, I guess if this is a seer, they probably know we're coming.
Right.
I'm a little skeptical about all this, but
So I guess I'll go in first, and
yeah, you let me know if it's safe.
yeah, I'll push the door in. I guess I can roll. You may roll another perception or
Yeah.
entering.
Yeah. All right. I just got to look up one thing real quick and get to it. Perfect. All right. No, you don't have to roll another perception. Y'all step cautiously into the house and push the door closed behind you, and it makes a soft creak. You hear a voice call from further in the back of the house. I'm back here, boy. Oh no, wait, sorry, that's not her voice. I'm back here, boys. No need to be afraid.
All right, then I'll just follow the voice.
I'm gonna follow right behind you.
She begins humming softly as you walk further through the house. You turn a corner to see an elderly human woman, played by Maggie Smith. That is Professor McGonagall from Harry
Awesome.
Potter. Yeah, in case.
The
Yeah,
best.
she was quite the get. I just dropped a picture of her in the chat. All right, yeah. Played by Maggie Smith. You see the elderly human woman standing there, a bowl in one arm. Her skin is pale and looks so thin that you can see blue veins peeking through the tops of her hands. Deep wrinkles and care lines cover her face. If you tried to place her age, the closest you could get is somewhere between 80 and 500 years old. She smiles warmly at you, and the wrinkles around her vibrant blue eyes deepen. Ah, yes, there he is. A little older than I had thought, but never mind that. You're definitely him.
Who's she motioning to?
You. She's looking straight at you. Did you bring the apples?
I have the apples.
She gestures you to a small bowl and says, if you wouldn't mind, one of you can wash and one of you can cut.
Okay,
I'll
I'll
wash.
wash. Oh,
No,
okay. No, well, you're better with a dagger. Maybe you should be cutting the apples.
fine.
I only have a mace. It's not going to work out well.
I'll go over and start to cut.
All right.
As you walk around the counter, you see the bowl that she's mixing is, it's filled with dough and honey and spices and, she sets the bowl down and turns around, opens her oven, and pulls out a pie shell that she's been, it's been resting in the oven. And she says, "So, I believe I know why you boys are here, but why don't you say it?"
I'm looking for someone.
Ah. And who is this someone?
Her name is Arin Sarana.
I wonder if you could mean old Ren Sarana. Yep.
You just had to go there.
Yeah, I did.
Tell me, what do you know? This old Ren Sarana.
She's been around here for some time. She was in Varissia before the founding of Sandpoint. She stayed around this town for some years. But she said that she was wasting time, and she left. She ventured out, and we've not seen her in some 4 decades.
I'm sorry, you said she was here before the founding of Sandpoint?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Rin Sarana. You may even be able to find her name in the books.
Gordo was very taken back by this. He's like, she's been there for a long time, so he's very taken back by that. So you say you haven't found her in 40 years. Haven't seen her in 40 years.
Yes. She traveled west, you see, towards the Gulf. She said there was something she needed to take care of. That time would wait for no one.
Of course. So, yeah, he's just washing the apples. Like he's got to consider this for a minute.
And you, young man, I did not see you in my dream. It's a pleasant surprise to have a catfolk darken my door. What can I help you with?
Okay, metagaming. As a seer, like, this isn't like a ask questions and get answers about my future or what I want or something like that, or is this all pertaining to a mission that we're on right now?
You can, anything you want to ask. If you want to ask about your future and get, some vague cryptic prophecy, then we can do that. If you want to ask something about the adventure and get some vague cryptic prophecy, we can do that.
Okay, so I wanna ask her. I'll say, since I've been in this town, I've gotten mixed signals from many of the patrons or inhabitants of this town, especially the women. I've been hit on multiple times and offered multiple partners. My heart is set on one individual in particular. Any news or direction to help my case or help me to find or know what I should be doing would gratefully help.
Well, I can say that, the reason people throw themselves at you is because, the Varissians have a sixth sense for greatness. You have a very great future for you. I cannot tell you if the woman you seek is in that future. For that decision, that lies on decisions that you make. But I see a great quest, a great victory, and a crown for you. But
Cordova raises
not loud.
I would like to
tell. Is it a dark crown or a crown of light?
I would like to get closer to her. in game, have I finished cutting the apples? Have I finished my task?
Sure.
Okay, I'd like to walk up to her, and Cordova doesn't see this, but where she knows it, I'll put the ring into her pocket.
She nods and clasps your hand. Yes, it is good. Good. You have taken a step down a good path today. That is the right way to go. This is not the only decision you will have to make. You will have to decide what kind of crown you will wear, and that will determine the girl. You see.
Yeah, do that.
And then Katul will do a
I didn't do that part.
You know when a cat lays on your stomach and you can hear their purr? So it's like a deep residual purr where she'll feel it while she's still touching my hand.
Aw.
Okay, she just starts mindlessly petting you. I mean, she is an old lady.
Good kitty.
I'll get the crazy cat ears where it pins back. I'll be like, all right, that's enough. That's enough.
So Cordova's going to perk up a little bit and be like, you can see the future to some extent?
To some extent.
Tell me, if Arn has headed west, and I stay on my quest here in Sandpoint, will I meet with her again?
She comes over and she says, well, that may be a question for the cards, my son. And she directs you over to a table, that's sitting in the corner of her kitchen, just a little away from the oven. And you see on the table a set of 9 cards. There's a deck sitting beside them, but there are 9 cards laid out in rows of 3 on this table. And she says, if you'll have a seat, I'll be right there. And she takes your apples and pours them into the pie crust, and knits up the top of the pie, and sets it in her oven again. And she comes and she sits down, and she says, this is what is called the harrow. I had yours prepared because I dreamed of you, you see. I can do another reading. She looks over to Katul. It's like, if that is what you would like, I can do another reading in a moment, but this one is prepared now. And she says, with the harrow, we read this in an order. You will pick a card of these 9. That card will be the last one that we read. I will choose other cards until you tell me you wish to stop and hear your own card. Of these 9, and she points, and she goes from her left to her right. These 3 represent the past. These 3 in the middle represent the present. And these 3 on my right represent the future. Now, you may ask any question you want of the cards, and we will learn about it in the reading. Sorry.
That's his question.
That's
When will I see, or will I meet Arn again? That's
will your paths cross again?
Yes.
Pick one of the cards. Past, present, future.
Okay. I'll pick the one in the middle.
The one straight in the middle.
Yep.
Okay.
This is an in-depth, crazy puzzle.
Yeah.
It is.
All right. So she takes that one, and she's like, all right, so we will read this one last. And she reaches over and she flips the top card from the past. Okay. She says, this is the Fiend. This is a lawful evil card. Okay, I'm not actually going to say that, but that doesn't make sense for her to say. This is the Fiend. It is the devil that devours the masses of the innocent. It can represent the deaths of many in a disaster. This is the prominent card of your past. Does this ring true?
Yes.
She reaches over and she grabs the bottom card of the present. The owl. It represents a harsh wisdom of the natural order. The owl holds the needle that binds life together or pick it apart. It seems as if you hold a special destiny, a special choice of whether you will help bind life together or allow it to be torn apart, or help it to be torn apart. Would you like me to continue?
Yes, of course.
She reaches over and she grabs the top card of the future. The Cyclone. An unstoppable force of destructive energy unleashed through the plots of intelligent creatures. There's a great destruction coming. Now, this card is inverted. I can't do that on the thing. I wish I could. This card is inverted, so it represents flux. That the destructive force that is inevitable may be delayed, it seems, or maybe sped up. This one can be moved through time. She goes back to the middle one of the past. I've got 9 of these, so just tell me when you want me to read yours. And yeah, she flips it over.
Oh.
The Rakshasa.
Ooh.
You don't like the cat head, but the obviously very human body? That's what I imagine you look like. Boobs and everything.
Cthulhu is very turned on right now with this card on the table.
The Rakshasa represents a domination, a mental control, slavery over intelligent life, slavery over a task. Again, this card represents your own past, how the past, was for you. Is this another truth?
Yes.
So you have faith in the cards, yes? These seem to ring true?
So far.
She reaches and grabs the top card of the present deck. The Paladin. You represent standing resolute against trouble, not backing down. This is the prominent card of your present. This is the card that represents your entire life, your nature, who you are destined to be.
I'm going to slap Cthulhu and say, you see that?
She reaches over, bottom card from the future. The Fool represents folly, greed, bribery, blackmail, hubris. This represents a weakness, not necessarily among you, but among those close with you at least. This could possibly represent a downfall of your own. Don't feel too confident, but this shows a personal trouble, a interpersonal trouble in your future. Let's see, I've got present, past. Okay. One more of the past, and one more of each. So, the past. the carnival. This represents illusions and false dreams. It's, this card means that it's somewhere along the way you encountered maybe a vision, maybe some advice that has steered you in the wrong direction. Something that has put you down a path that might deter you from your needed task. That made no sense. A path that might be detrimental to your current cause. You did. Okay. And finally, the final card of the future. I like this one too. This one represents a great discovery of truth within yourself. I'm sorry, but so far, none of these cards seem to mention your lover. The only one that's left is your chosen card. Is that okay?
Yes.
She flips it over. The theater. This represents a true prophet acting as a puppet of the gods. That is concerning. I do not know which gods it could be, but it seems as if some supernatural force, some extraplanar force maybe, is manipulating you, is controlling you through a way. She looks a little concerned. She said, "Do you have anything of Arin's that I may touch?
Anything of what?
Anything of Arin's? Your friends?"
Oh, Arin's. Okay.
Yes. I'm sorry that this reading did not seem to answer, but there may be more that I can do.
I don't have anything.
Well, I can tell you that I did a similar reading for Arin, you say, for Ren, my old friend, back before she left, and she did seem to have a few of these same cards. So it is entirely possible that your paths will cross. I cannot tell you specifically when, but if you started at the same place and are on the same mission, you should come across her.
So this has given me a lot to think about.
He looks at Cthulhu. Would you like a reading as well?
Sure.
She shuffles the cards, lays them out in another grid of 9. Which one would you like to be your card?
The last one of the past.
Last one of the past, okay. Alright. So she starts flipping. She flips the she flips the first card of the present this time. She says, "The foreign trader," and I don't have pictures for you, sorry. The foreign trader. This represents spies, merchants, those who truck in information. It seems that you you have some knowledge, either about your person already, or something important you will learn very soon. Okay. She flips the first one of the past. Constitution. All right. The crows. Interesting. The crows represents a murder, a theft, or a violent loss of that which is loved. Huh. Tell me, have you lost anyone in your life?
Yes. Yes, I have.
Huh. Here we go. Well, that didn't work.
Now we all know.
Well, you all
I'm
are,
Batman.
except for one of you. So,
I'm Batman.
all right. She goes to, she goes to the top one of the future. This is the prominent card of your future. She flips it. The avalanche. Ooh, this represents disaster, and an unthinking panic and destruction that overruns all. This somewhat falls in line with Cordova's card of the cyclone. It seems as if y'all may be destined to deal with this threat together. She goes back. She flips over the middle one of the past. Yes, the dance. It's a complicated framework that involves cooperation to avoid collapse. This is often associated with people of political aspirations, people who were raised in some kind of court. Does this fit with anything of your past?
Amusingly, yes.
She goes to the middle card of the present. Let's see. Okay. The survivor. Yes. It represents a creature that has managed to survive a terrible ordeal when everyone thought him lost. Tell me, are you running from something? Are you hiding?
I carry a lot of shame, and running is a way to keep those that I care about safe. It's a double-edged sword.
I see. She moves on to the next future card. Ooh, the snake bite. This represents poison, venom, assassination. I don't know if you've been sent on a mission, but this one says it may be successful. If this is not your mission, I would keep watch over myself and my friends. This does not bode well for your group of companions. She moves back to the final card of the past. So I'm doing this one like as we go, in case you haven't been able to tell.
Yeah.
The Demon's Lantern. This represents solution of impossible traps, mind tricks, and sleight of hand. This shows that you were trained in the arts to be surreptitious, I guess. I don't know. My vocabulary failed me again. Yes, this shows that you may have been, trained in some thievery or deceptive skills. Yes.
Yes.
She moves over to the future, the last one of the future. The beating. Ooh. This card represents assault from all quarters and the mental dissolution of the self. This shows a great change from within yourself brought about by those around you. And she goes for the final card of the past. This is your chosen card. She flips it over. This is the desert. It represents an environment too difficult for anyone to survive without help. This card may represent some kind of salvation from a plague, but it generally represents a salvation from solitude. That those about you may save you from yourself. You should trust those that you keep in your company. And she stands up after that, walks over to the oven and pulls out her fully baked, crispy golden pie, and walks over and sets it back down on the table. This is for you boys. I wish that y'all would take it with you as you go. If you have any other questions, you may. But I had this, in my mind. It was perfect amount of time for her to bake a pie. Anyways, yeah,
Perfect.
Yeah,
That's awesome.
all right. Y'all have any other questions for her about her?
No, Cordova's just kind of floored by everything he's heard, so he's
Same. She did a really good job with that.
he's gonna thank her for her time, of course. Did you say we could keep the pie?
Oh, of course.
Yeah, so she's gonna thank her for, and not to drag it on because I know there's other characters that got run through there a bit.
Yeah.
But on the way out, like when we get outside, Cordova's gonna look over at Cthulhu and be like, "She called Aaron my lover, and she never was. And in the interest of trusting your friends, she never was."
And Cthulhu will say something along the lines of maybe you're looking at the glass half empty. Maybe she felt differently about you and you just didn't know it.
Perhaps. But I need to find her. I'm not going to deviate from this mission. But if and when we're done, I do want to travel west. And I hope whoever you're looking for, whatever it is you're looking for, you'll trust us enough to let us help you find it.
I'll say that the cards showed me things that I had buried and left behind. And by your reaction, I feel like they did the same. For now, we should trust the cards.
I can tell you this, you can never truly leave the past behind. And time waits for no one. We have to get back to our friends.
With haste.
That's what Serana had said when she left 40 years ago. Time waits for no one, right, Jeremy?
Yep. Time waits for no one.
He's taking that to heart.
All right. So, okay. Where's Argus? As you stepped out of the Rusty Dragon. Oh no!
Gonna place first in a 150cc race.
Do what?
I mean, 2 seconds. I'm fixing to place first in a 150cc race online.
He's over there playing Mario Kart.
Well, I guess it's fair. We did just spend like 30 minutes on you guys.
Okay, cool.
All right.
I crossed the finish line, so it doesn't matter.
So as you walk out of the Rusty Dragon, you turn right, and you start to make your way over here to the Sandpoint Bridge. It's the nearest point to leaving town. As you are approaching the bridge, you are stopped by, a middle-aged human man, and he approaches you. Yeah, all right. I just wanted to thank you for protecting the town. Yeah, I know you haven't met me, but I run a small smokable stand over on Market Street. Yeah, I moved up to the square for the festival, and those damn goblins nearly burned down my stand. I owe you guys everything. If they'd have burned my stuff, I'd have to go back to Absalom. Yeah, I mean, I don't have much to spare, but I thought you may like these. And he hands you a nicely made, ornate wooden box. You open it to find 12 hand-rolled cigars. That is the highest quality tobacco I have in stock. And I know that not everyone enjoys to smoke, and you may not yourself, but hopefully you'll find an appropriate time to celebrate with one.
Oh, my friend, I cannot accept this without giving you payment. And then Argus reaches in and grabs him a little sack of his smokables.
Oh, well, I can't sell this in town.
That's what they tell me all the time.
Well, I'll just thank you. And he, takes it and stuffs it in his shirt pocket. That's quite generous.
Well, glad we saved your shop. You have a good day.
You turn and you cross the bridge, and you start...
Which bridge?
The Sandpoint Bridge, right here.
Nothing is happening on my screen.
Okay.
Is it this bridge?
Yes.
Okay.
All right. So you start to cross that bridge, and you walk down, down the coast a little bit, and you can either turn right and go into the woods, or you can continue on straight down along the coast some more.
I want to go along the coast and sit with the water and the sand and the sea turtles and the octopuses.
Yeah. All right. You make your way down here to just at this bridge by Boggy Creek, and there's a perfect little spot where the water is crystal clear and moves just slowly enough for fish to be swimming around your feet and sea turtles wandering around, munching on the whatever sea turtles eat. Yeah. So it's a nice, peaceful, quiet stream.
Okay. Is Stumpy with me?
Yeah, Stompy's with you.
Oh, my good friend, my only faithful companion. Sit here with me and watch over me while I focus my energies.
Stompy, crouches down on his haunches and kind of coos and lays his head on your knee.
And I sit there and I just regather my mindset. Basically going over what's happened, all the stuff that's been going on. Just kind of rechanneling himself because he's noticed a lot of negative energy in him. That's all he's doing.
As you're sitting there and you're breathing in, positive energy, and you're breathing out the negative energy. You're breathing in the positive and you're breathing out the negative. And as you do that, your mind starts to drift. You start to think about that negativity that you're breathing back out. Every breath in, is strong, positive, clean-natured air. Breath out, that dog died. Breathe in, nice, fresh nature, beautiful turtles everywhere. Breathe out, Emil Barrett's dead husband laying in the closet. Breathe in, happiness. Breathe out, sad child. Breathe in, relaxing, positive energy. Breathe out, death and hopelessness. Yeah. As you're sitting there doing that, you kind of flash a little bit further back. You see yourself sitting on your father's workbench as he's slaving away, with building a oh my god, I forgot what they're called now. Golem. Building a golem. He's carefully sculpting each part of it, and with careful love and consideration as he's doing this, and he's explaining it to you as he goes along. Oh son, you see, we give him happy facial features, and we we make him big to protect us, and we impart in him a little bit of life. We give him a little of everything that we are. We give him our happiness, our sadness, our pain, our joy and elation. We give him hope for the future and fear for the unknown. And as we do this, and he's doing the hand motions and saying the spells, and we bring him to life. We make a new creature of the world. And he animates this golem, and it shows you as he starts to let it walk around. He guides it outside to walk around the hut and move through the trees. He says, "You see, son, all of nature has a balance, just as the golems have a balance. The death and the destruction and then the fear is as important a part of life as the hope and the happiness and pleasure. And to make a proper golem, we must give it all of these things. Do you understand?" And
Yes.
he bends down and puts his hand on your shoulder, and just he smiles at you. But as he smiles, the forest behind him catches on fire, and your father's oblivious to this. As the golem burns and the fire moves closer to the house, you hear screaming coming from inside the house. And you turn to look at the house as it's burning down, and the roof collapses in on itself. And then you look back to your father for help, but he's laying on the ground, burned, smoking. And you start to scream and cry for help. And then you breathe in. Good, clean, fresh nature. Stompy, on your knee, cooing, lifts his nose up for you to pet him. You look down and you see everything clean around you. The colored stones reflecting in the creek. Butterflies, flying in and alighting on the back of the sea turtles. And tell me about what you're thinking. How you feeling?
Curious. He doesn't feel he thought he let go of his past. Obviously it still affects him, and he wasn't ready to deal with it. Like, he's not ready to deal with it. It's part of who he is and why he's all neutral, or not. I should say neutral. Not very aggressive, and he's confused. He doesn't understand it, and it's also brought up the point of, like, why are we here at this town with that stuff? Why is there an unbalance? And he's just worried about how it affects the planet, the nature, the magic, everything like that. I don't know. Yeah.
All right. Is there anything else you want to do before I move on to Musashi?
Nah. Yeah, I'm gonna head. Guess I'll just start walking towards the Hagfish Inn.
Okay. You start going towards the Hagfish. You want to wait for other people before you get there, or you want to go ahead and go in and get a little bit of... I can give you a few more minutes because I gave it 30.
Yeah, I'll just go ahead and go in. I'm assuming we said we'd there. I can't remember.
Yeah. All right, you go ahead and go in. And nobody else is there yet. But, well, yeah. I mean, well, I guess Cordova and Cthulhu might be getting there, but Musashi is still on his way to the smithy.
Okay.
Scroll down. So you get there, and you see there's a handful of people there. Yes, Vin Vendor is over in the corner enjoying a drink. And you also see Georgie Quinn. He is, a young, human male, one-legged human male, very friendly. He's the proprietor of the Hagfish. And you see him, over sitting at a table, spinning a yarn about, a fish that took off his leg all those years ago. Yeah, you also look around. You see a fish tank holding a lot of murky, brown, kind of fetid water. You see moving around in there some creature you assume to be a hagfish, because they live in muddy, brown, fetid water, and this place is named the Hagfish. Above the tank, you see a sign and 25 inscriptions. The sign outlines the competition. Is that anyone who wants to pay can drop 1 kappa in the bag and try a cup from Nora's tank. If you can keep it down without vomiting, you get everything in the bag. To date, only 25 people have managed to claim the prize. Right now, there's a fairly fat sack of coins, pinned to the beam beside Nora's tank.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay. Hang on. I'm interested in it.
Okay.
Vin Vendor's in the corner.
Vin Vendor's in the corner.
So
Drinking.
I'm sitting there talking to myself. I know I said wait for everybody else, but he's right here. How long could this come of? So I walk over to him, and we can stop there, or we can continue. Your choice.
We'll stop it there because I want Musashi there for this. So all right, Musashi. Yes, sir. All right. As you step out of the Rusty Dragon, you turn and start walking north towards the cathedral. Okay? Back up this road towards here.
Yep.
And you hang a left turn, and instead of going straight, you stop right here by a small brick building. It has a sign over it. It says, "The Red Dog Smithy." Now, you've been here earlier in the adventure. You stopped by to have somebody help you sharpen and clean your sword. And so as you're, admiring the sign, about to walk into the shop, you hear some children just a couple of feet down the road playing jump rope. They're singing a little song. Yeah. Here comes crazy man, Das Corvat, mad as a cut snake in a wagon rut. See how his chops go, bouncity bounce. How many people has he trounced? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And you open the door and head on through. You see, as you walk into the shop, you see a counter there with several weapons hanging up behind, and greaves and boots and leggings and all that. Greaves are leggings. Armor and all that stuff hanging up all around the shop, and you hear tink, tink, tink coming from the back of the shop.
Hello? Anyone around?
Back here.
I guess I wander towards the back.
Wander towards the back. As you go towards the back, you come, through an open doorway into an open air workspace. You see on the ground 2 large red mastiffs raise their head and growl lowly. You know, there are chunks of raw metal, a large forge sets against the back wall of the building, an overweight man with thinning hair on top, and long bushy mutton chops, sweat dripping down his scarred, soot-covered face, played by Alec Baldwin, has both hands occupied as he's hammering, a long blade. And every now and then he sticks it back in the coals and brings it out and hammers it some more. Calm down, girls. He looks up at you. What do you need? You know I'm not usually open on Star Day. You know that, right?
Unfortunately, I did not know this. I am sorry, good sir.
Sorry, what are you here for?
Well, I was following some advice of a colleague of ours, that she had paid me some silver and said to head this way, that you would be gladly able to clean my armor for me. Miss Amiko, you may remember her?
Oh, Amiko, of course. I owe her a few favors. Yeah, bring me your armor. I'll clean it up.
So, start taking it all off.
Yeah, start taking it all off. As you're doing that, he goes over, and he's filling a barrel with smooth stones and squirting a little bit of oil down in it. That's how he cleans that hard armor. I recognize you. You came in with that beautiful Nodachi, right?
Yes, I have.
That's a nearly perfect sword. It's exactly 8 pounds, 90 centimeters from hilt to tip, with just a modest curve of 1.8 centimeters, and perfect 20-degree angle grinding on each side of the blade. Truly impressive.
It's good to see someone that knows of quality. I'll hand it over to him so he can check it out.
Yeah, he picks it up and he's admiring it. He holds it up and looks down the blade. It's just perfect. Not a bend in here. Not a bend, not a nick. And I know this thing's seen battle. I saw you handle them goblins, but just not a nick. This is perfect.
Well, the proper technique and maintenance can keep anything looking well. That is actually kind of why I've come to see you.
Yeah?
So, as you know, we have just more recently come into town, and I myself haven't been here long, obviously with all the events, but I come from a much farther place away. And on my journeys and travels and whatnot, I was given kind of a new path in life, or if that's what you'd call it. And one of the things that I've sought to do is to become self-sufficient and maintain my weapons as good as you see. Unfortunately, I've not been doing a good job because I lack the knowledge that I would say I would require to keep this fine craftsmanship. And I was looking to expand on my knowledge and see if there's anyone like yourself that might be able to aid and help me with my knowledge. Learn a new thing or two from a master.
Now look, I'm the only smithy in town, and I can tell you, I don't got no time for teaching nothing. But if you want to come and hang around the shop, give me a hand with a few things, sell some stuff, keep it clean, do what you're told, don't ask questions. I can use a hand around the shop. How's that sound? I can pay you 2 gold a day. More if you show me you know what you're doing.
That is more than precise. That's actually a more generous offer than I'd imagined.
All right, that's a deal. He sticks out his hand.
I'll go ahead and shake his hand on that one, kind of more surprised than anything.
Right. As you're shaking his hand, you hear those kids singing again. Those damn kids. I wish they wouldn't play in front of their shop like that. They drive away customers. They're likely to get hurt when they climb on stuff and dig through my scraps. I've got half a mind to go take it up with their fathers. Maybe if I give them a beating, they'll pass it on to the insolent damn kids.
But sir, the young are not to be beaten. The young are to be taught.
I ain't got no kids. I ain't got no time for teaching kids. If they can't learn from the back of a hand, they don't need to learn.
Well, since you've hired me to speak, why don't I deal with the children?
That sounds great. If you could, keep some of these other fuckers out in this town away from me too. That damn sheriff, thinks he's some kind of fucking hero, is above reproach just because he spent some time adventuring. I tell you what, his little whore ain't so much of a secret as he thinks.
Oh? What whore do you speak of?
Madame Tassarne. But the Pixie's kitten.
Unfortunately, I'm not good with names. Can you describe her?
Oh, yeah. She's a little half elf thing, right? You know, she's about 5 foot tall, just perfectly built and maintained, if you know what I'm saying. She runs the brothel down here in town. You know, she's the queen bee of them all. You know, that one's got to be the best, right? Right?
All right.
She
Quick
just-
question, metagaming.
Yeah.
Was this the same girl that came up to me and that we're dealing with the one guy, or no? Because I forgot names.
No, that was Shayless Vendor.
Okay, that was Shayless. Okay, never mind.
Yeah.
Okay, continue.
Yeah.
I gotta check my notes.
she's a sweet little piece. I mean, I know from experience. You know what I'm saying?
Well, unfortunately, I don't have that kind of experience. I really had the chance. So what's so wrong about her?
I mean, the sheriff and Queen Whore, it ain't too good of a picture, you know. He likes to pretend that he's all chivalrous, but he goes and he pays for it just like we do.
Well, that is hypocrisy if all government speaks of.
Yeah. Yeah. And then he hears the sawmill start up. One thing you got to know about Das Korvat, he hates everybody in town. Like,
I kind of figured this so far.
Yeah, he's just that guy in town. You know, he hears the sawmill from where he's at. That asshole Benny Hawker. That asshole keeps the town awake at all hours running that damn sawmill. And then we got Father Xanthus over here. He points at the cathedral that's right behind him. Goddamn preachy, judgy bullshit. I remember when he was a kid, and he would sneak a peek in the girls' changing room at school. He wasn't so concerned about his God was he? Huh? Not when there was some good men's to be had. And that Kaijitsu family, everyone treats them like fucking royalty. Oh, but that family got problems too. The only one that's worth talking to is Longiku. That poor man just keeps taking hits. What with his wife having an affair and then having to raise the proof that his wife couldn't keep her legs together. And then his daughter, Amiko, gallivanting around with elves and all sorts of questionable creatures, going on adventures, buying that crap hole pub instead of learning the family business and acting like a real lady. This town would be better if half these people left and we could just start over with some respectable citizens.
That's news about Amiko, I've heard.
Yeah, you're sitting there thinking, I work for this guy now.
Yep. He's a good source of information.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, when he talked about gallivanting around with elves, you can probably just assume he's talking about Shalelu.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So yeah, if you want, what are the things you got to ask him?
Well, I'm trying to think if I need to deal with the kids now first or deal with him because he sounds busy.
Up to you.
All right. Well, let's see. I've already given him my armor. I'm trying to think if let's see. So I'm almost half tempted to watch him. But I know story progression, that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I mean, story progression, just the story doesn't progress until y'all either go back to Vin or do the next thing. Whatever you do in his shop is what you do in his shop.
Okay.
Considering it takes about the same amount of time.
In that case, I'll ask him. So, how long do you think it'd take to finish the armor and whatnot? Because I know later I would like to take a little bit to watch and learn and whatnot.
Well, it takes a couple hours really, but what you're supposed to do is you get some grunt, which would be you in the future if I didn't have this machine. He's like, and what you do is he takes the barrel, he stuffs your armor down in it and surrounds it with smooth rocks and sand. And he takes it up on its side and he rolls it around, so that it's rolling on its edge, and you see it. This shakes the stones and the sand, and it smooths out your armor and polishes it up, gets off any dirt, blood, whatever you have on there. And if it's really dirty, you can take about a day. Just a normal everyday cleaning, I could probably be done in about an hour. So what I'm gonna do, and he takes it, and he rolls it over, to this stone machine that he's got, he plops it up on a plate, and he pulls a lever, and it starts to shake. He's like, I just put it there, and I walk away from it. He's like, I had this built about 10 years ago. It cost me a month's wages, but still worth it. So it saves me so much time. Like, I can go finish this sword while that's cleaning. And he goes over and he starts hammering back on the sword. Yeah, and if you're still standing there, listening to him, he's telling you what he's doing, hammering out, the dents and folding it, hammering it more. He's like, this heats up the blade. Yeah.
So I'll listen for a bit, and of course he'll finish his stuff. So you know what? Since you've been so kind to me, and this will take a while, I think I might do you a favor. First, I take the 5 silver and set it down on the table nearby him. Actually, I will also set down. Oh, let's see. I only have gold pieces, don't I?
If you want to have silver, just subtract one gold piece and add 10 silver.
Okay.
So, yeah. Copper is 10 copper per silver, so 100 copper per gold.
Yeah. So what I'll say is do that. Hang on, just doing a quick edit. Okay. So I put down the 5 silver, and then I take out another 5 silver and say, this is for you doing all this work for me while on your off day, while you're not supposed to be working and open. So thank you for your kindness on that.
Of course, no problem.
And to kind of repay that, he said those brats were being annoying. Now, I do have a question. What is it, that song they're singing? I only heard a little bit.
They made up this song about me. You see, like I get in fights from time to time. I've been kicked out of a few bars in town. Some people don't like me back. That fucking Amiko won't let me in the Rusty Dragon. But I've get in some fights, and they make up songs about me beating up everybody in town. Like I'm some kind of beast.
Although I hate to say it, you sound similar to me in that aspect.
I think we could be friends, I think that I've probably fought every adult man in this town at least once. Except for the old farts. That quink motherfucker won't, he won't put up his dukes for nothing.
Well, I see we are different in those paths. You had a choice. I didn't. In that case, I might talk to these children, see if I can scurry them away. Now, is there anything you can think of that might help me in this endeavor?
I don't know. I've tried yelling everything I could at them. But maybe you can scare them off. I don't know. Use your imagination.
Would you mind if there's anything in the shop I might be able to use? I will return it, of course.
Oh, absolutely. I got a couple swords over there. I got a crossbow if you want to shoot at them. Just take some pot shots at the feet.
No, I don't plan on injure them.
I got this big staff that I made for a monk, but he never came and picked it up. It's this 5 foot long wooden staff.
Do you have any armors or cloaks or masks or hoods?
Oh yeah. He opens up a chest, and there's these. He's got a bunch of different helms that he's styled after animals. Yeah, like if you seen Game of Thrones, you think the bull's helm, the wolf helm like the hound has, and he's got one that's a lion and a unicorn. Like I'd say he's probably got about a dozen or so in there.
I'm hoping to find something scary.
Let's see. I got this goblin. He holds up a goblin mask.
Maybe
this one was popular at Halloween.
You have something other than the goblin, maybe more demon-like.
Oh, not like that, but I do have this demon, and he holds up a demon mask.
Let me borrow that in a cloak with a hood.
Of course. Yeah. He gives you that and pulls up the hood on your own cloak. There you go.
Okay. I'll be back in just a little while. Let's see if I can persuade them.
All right. So, all right. So you
So put the mask on, get the hood, cover it up where you can't really see my face at all, and cover my whole self so it just looks like I'm a really weird, small hooded person.
Okay.
So my idea is I guess an attempt to stealth and keep my face obscured. I'm going to attempt to scare them, but not scare them.
All right. Give me a stealth check.
Let me double check. I think I was. Let's see. I don't have my armor. I don't know if that gives me a boost or not. Where is it? Stealth, a -3. Wow, this is going to go really well. Forgot I am a fat dwarf after all. 20 -3. 3. I'm not very stealthy.
Well, it's all right. I mean, these are children, so they have significant minuses. So yeah, like most of the your stealth thing is you're trying to keep an eye on them as you're going, and most of them are still playing the game, but one of them he turns his head a little bit, and he starts creeping towards the corner of the building, like he might hear something.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, I'm gonna slowly creep up to him and whatnot, and then eventually, as I get close, kind of make it more of my presence known.
Okay.
So what was that? How did that song go again?
Here comes crazy man Das Corvat, mad as a cut snake in a rag and rut. See how his chops go bouncity bounce. How many people has he trounced? 1, 2, 3, 4. And they start counting until somebody trips.
Okay.
That's how jump rope games go.
So I'll kind of come up nearby. Is there any boxes or something there nearby?
Yeah.
Okay.
You're right around the smithy. So there's going to be boxes here between these buildings. There's going to be stuff piled up at the corner of his house. Yeah.
Okay. Well, I'll just kind of slowly walk up to him and then stop as if I'm just staring at them, but with the hood not shown, and just kind of waiting a little bit for them to kind of stop and notice, so to speak. More get creeped out.
Yeah, that one little kid that was creeping over this way because he heard something, he looks around the corner and doesn't see anything, so he turns back and sees you standing right back where he was on that corner of the building, and he just lets out a blood-curdling scream, and is paralyzed with fear. And his friends drop the jump rope and look around to see what's going on, and they see you, and so they all scream and scatter in different directions. But this one little boy, he's still paralyzed with fear, staring straight at you, just scream.
Quiet, little one. All I hear is mean speak and tones coming from playful children. They tend to bring out dark and evil things.
His eyes are getting really big, and he's his face is turning blue because you told him to shut up, and he just shut his mouth. He's not breathing.
Now, child, I hear you speak and sing of mean things to people. Are you a mean and evil child?
No, sir.
Then to ward off a demon such as myself, you know what a child must do?
Be good?
Yes, they should be good and happy and play in the town square and places away from the dark, evil people that happen to be about. Because people can be evil and a demon like myself and whip the hood back. And of course he sees the demon face and all that.
Yeah.
Or they can see the truth behind the demon. Then I whip off the actual mask itself to see me, the hero. Or they can see the truth behind the mask and be nice to people. And of course I have red hair and eyes, and that's probably scary as hell anyways.
Yeah, he's even more scared.
So, I ask you, child, can you please play in other places and play nicely?
Yes, sir.
and not speak foul of men, even if they are of evil.
Yes, sir.
Now
Yes, sir.
go.
We'll be nice
play.
to the mean man. I'm sorry. And
It
he
is-
runs off and like trips 3 times before he makes to the back to the corner of the building.
And it's like, all right, that should do it. Kind of walk back, go talk to our.
Das was watching from the inside the building, and you walk in, and he's just like drop jawed, like.
I'll hand him the mask and back with the cloak and tell him, well, the unfortunateness about my past is that I am quite the demon. But unfortunately, this town knows me as a hero and whatnot. So I'm kind of used to people being afraid of me. So I use it to my advantage on occasion. Although I'm trying to do better with myself. But, it's just how I am.
Well, I appreciate your help here. That was, fuck. If that's the kind of demon you are, then I don't want to cross you. That scared me. Like, he's
just remember that Nodachi you speak of. It is, even though it is in pristine condition, I've only had to use that on a few occasions. So the history of that blade should be that of red and blood. So handle it with care.
It's a fine blade for killing. It is.
Yes, and it has seen its fair share, even though I have not had to use it as much. My other weapon, on the other hand, then hold out the katana. This one, probably worse for wear. I've used this quite a bit.
He looks at it's your katana, and it's a bit it's a bit nicked, and he's like, yeah, this is a well used blade. If you want, I can repair this one while you're here, just like as a thank you for taking care of them kids.
I would very much appreciate it, because unfortunately, that one has seen too much blood. It is starting to rust.
So he takes it from you. He's like, this one they'll probably take about a day or two.
That's fine. I still have my Nodachi.
Yeah. You come back to me tomorrow and see how it is, and it might be done. It might take the next day, but we'll see.
All right.
So,
in that case, I will bid you adieu, and I will head back to my colleagues.
All right. Look, today's star day. I expect you to start working day after tomorrow. That's Moon Day. Moon Day. You good for Moon Day?
As far as I know, otherwise I will tell you otherwise.
All right. I'll see you then.
Excuse me.
You go off. I assume you're going down to the Hagfish.
Yeah.
Cthulhu and Cordova. I assume y'all there as well.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Y'all walk in and you see Argus has just slid up to the table and sitting down, getting ready to talk to Vinbender. I'd say you all three probably get there about the same time.
Well, if we see Argus walking up to Vinbender, I mean, Cordova's going to follow.
Yeah, same here.
All right.
Kind of the, shit.
All right. Cthulhu, do you follow as well, or do you keep your distance?
I'm gonna just be in earshot.
Okay. So you get closer, but not so close as to immediately piss off Vinbender.
Right, and it looks like my ears are pinned back a little bit, but I'm trying. It's like I'm really just trying not to be an asshole.
All right. The three of y'all get up there, and Cthulhu just a little bit further away, and Vin looks up from his drink and just glares at you. What do y'all want? Oh, Vin, by the way, I don't remember if I said it before, is played by Liam Cunningham.
No idea who that is.
That is Sir Davos Seaworth.
Okay.
Argus was walking up to him first.
I don't want to hate this guy, but...
All right. So Argus was the first one to get over there. You guys are just a few steps behind him. What do you guys want?
Just to have a talk.
Yeah, it is.
You guys need to learn how to whisper properly on here.
Do we want to call it here before we get into it?
I don't have a problem with that.
Do y'all want to?
Casey got to go. Casey got to go.
Yeah, I gotta go. I've had to gone since 9:30.
Oh.
I have no idea what happened.
Okay, well that's fine. We'll listen back. Next session we'll pick up right here from Vin Vendor. Heck, I've still got a lot written. All right, cool. Yeah, so
I had a good time.
Me too.
yeah. Next Sunday still good for everybody?
As far as I know, it should be.
Okay.
Yeah, man. I think it's just going to get easier once the school kicks off, too.
Yeah. So next Sunday, same time.
Sounds good. See you guys later.